Just sound off, Matty.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'll find out in a minute.
Sounds off. We are live.
Yeah.
Back in studio. We're finally back, as Ryan Sowers said, but we were actually back last week.
Yeah, Ryan,
So,
we were back last week.
Do you mean we're finally back or you're finally back?
No,
I'm here.
no, Jeff forgot to turn his sound off. Of all people, Jeff
that
forgot
me?
to turn his sound off.
Hey, I can't do everything. I got ear pods in my ears. I can't hear.
All right, y'all. Welcome
You're
back to
doing
another
fine.
episode of Let's Talk Fish, presented by Angler's Choice Marine. Which, a matter of fact, Brian and I were just there this past weekend.
Yes, and we're going to be there again this weekend.
Well, not that
That one. We're going to be in Spindale.
Correct. Friday, I hope these hours are right, because that's what I texted you earlier.
Yes. That's when I'll be there.
12 to 5, I believe, on Friday.
Yeah.
Spindale, North Carolina, Angler's Choice. Saturday, 9 to 5, I believe. So, or 9 to 3 on Saturday. 12 to 5 on Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Yeah. So, y'all come out. I know myself, Thrift, John Cruz, Hank Parker will be there. It'll be a good time. We did something that was really cool with the Angler's Choice. What are you doing back there, Jeff?
That was fun, what we did at Angler's Choice.
Oh,
Go
the
ahead and
angler-
tell them about it.
The angler panel. Yeah, so we took, not an angler panel.
The round
It's
table.
The round table.
The round
It was like a
table.
half moon table.
It was a half moon.
Yeah, it wasn't a round table.
Maybe a crescent moon.
So all the pros that were in Martinsville, if you missed it, sorry, but here's the good news. So we did a little half moon panel table discussion.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, it was really fun. Probably one of the funnest, like, seminar type
I knew it was
things.
coming.
What?
Funnest. I knew it was
What's
coming.
wrong with funnest?
No, it's not a word, but I mean it.
Funnest is not a word.
Just to be clear, I'm not going to be here for a minute.
Well, I want how everything. I want to. Is funnest really not a word?
Funnest.
Yeah,
Funnest.
it's a word.
Yes.
It is in the dictionary.
All right,
It's a
so
word.
how
So
do you
you
use
tried to make me look like an idiot, which in turn made yourself look like an idiot.
at funnest? I just use that in a
Funnest.
sense like yeah.
This is
Okay,
the-
thank you, Jeff. It's a word. It's 110% not a word. Y'all, all right. We got 60, 70 people on right now.
I'm Googling it. I got to.
Y'all let us know. Is funnest an actual word? Funnest. Like it was the funnest time I've ever had.
Exactly.
Tyler, no. No.
You just used it in perfect sentence.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So, yeah.
Right here, it's a superlative adjective. Funnest. See? I knew it.
Travis Montgomery said no.
Try to make me look. I got it right here.
I feel like you're.
Zoom in on it for the fans.
I don't think that camera's got zoom, Brian. You can walk it over there to the camera.
It is
and put
in
it
the
front of it.
Oxford Dictionary.
Oh, Oxford Dictionary? That's not even a real dictionary.
Is it not?
I don't know. I just said that.
It's in Merriam-Webster too. You
No.
can't doubt that.
Funnest.
Bam.
Funnest.
It's a word in the South, is what Ronald Singletary
It's a
said.
word in the
That's
dictionary.
a two for us.
Most,
and
okay.
none
How
for
many
Ryan,
them.
people do
thank
we?
you.
How many people do we have on?
It's most fun.
Or funnest?
No, you say it was the most
Look
fun.
it up in the dictionary. It's in the dictionary. It counts. I will
Anyway.
argue this.
Back to what we were talking about before we started praising Brian for his improper English.
It's proper.
We did. We had a little discussion. Dudley was part of this discussion, as you can imagine. It was quite entertaining, and actually, Austin.
I need to
with-
figure out what's going on with my phone. I'm sorry. It says
Never
we only
fails.
got 14 people on, so
Your phone's wrong.
I don't doubt that. That's why.
We're at 79 and counting.
It's
80
called
counting.
you need to update a new
all right.
phone.
So, Austin, who handles a lot of Angler's Choice social media, editing videos, things like that, he actually uploaded. If you hadn't subscribed to Angler's Choice YouTube channel, you needed to subscribe to their channel because they put up a lot of really, really good videos. And that little angler panel discussion, half moon table deal, where we took some questions from the audience, but we answered some questions from Mr. Howell that was hosting the event on the mic. It was a lot of fun, and I learned some things about some of my fellow anglers that I didn't know, kind of about how some of them got their start, and
Right.
I kind of knew everything because Brian and I got our start pretty much the same way. But like Hank Parker was there, David Dudley was there, Shaw Grigsby was there,
Yeah.
Terry Scroggins was there. It was Andy Montgomery was there
Andy was there Friday.
on Friday, but it was a lot of fun, and it was a very, very cool very cool experience. And the turnout, good Lord, the turnout.
Oh, it was amazing.
Saturday was slammed, dude. I never I had to go incognito just to go pee one time.
And I love the way it's laid out because they have done so much work on the tackle side of the Angler's Choice Marine business. So being able to get out there and mingle around on the floor with everybody looking at tackle, that's what I love. Like, I love bass fishing. I love looking at tackle, and I love talking about it. So to be able to get out there one-on-one with people that are, looking at tackle and just talking about things I like and things they like, and it's fun. Like, I had a great time.
And I'm not going to lie, y'all. So we've given y'all a code for the show before. It's LTF10. You get 10% off your purchase from acmtackle.com. And I kid you not, do yourself a favor and check out their new website, because I left there and spent roughly about $250. That's $250.
He's lightweight.
Brian beat me. What'd you spend, Brian?
$370.
Brian spent $370, but our good old buddy Big Show
Oh my God!
walked out of there with no less than, what would you guess?
Man,
$1,500?
Oh God, no! He had to be over $2,000.
Over $2,000
over $2,000
in tackle. Now he did buy like a $900 reel, so that was like
He did do
40%
that.
of his purchase.
Yeah, he did. Do that.
But that being said, I promise y'all.
I know he bought 3 reels and a lot of tackle. It had to be well over $2,000.
Oh yeah, it was insane amounts. So the hot topic tonight, by the way, is we're going to do a little preview of our first couple tour stops: the BPT,
Hot topic.
the Bass Elite. We both go to Florida. Okay,
Do y'all have 2 in Florida or just 1? Well, that's-
Seminole's not really Florida.
Yeah, but that counts. We'll count it.
Yeah, it's in Georgia, but you're going to call it. You're going to say it's in Florida.
There's a Florida line to it. You can trailer around and launch your boat in the state of Florida into Lake Seminole.
Okay,
So we're calling it Florida.
it fishes like a Florida lake more than it does
Exactly.
in Georgia lakes.
Florida. Florida, it is.
All right. So I've got back-to-backs coming up, and Brian has a tournament on Toho, Kissimmee, right? That's your
Yes.
first BPT. We're going to talk about how those are kind of going to, how they appear to be setting up, just from what we've seen lately with some local tournaments and things like that. But back to the tackle deal. Y'all, I'm serious. So when Bryan Thrift goes in a tackle store and spends $350, he ain't buying like Zoom finesse worms and like speed crawls and Cincos and stuff that you can buy like at any retailer on the planet.
Yeah.
He's buying the harder to find weird colors that he's praying nobody else on the entire BPT tour has in their box, so he has an edge. Okay, that's the way Bryan Thrift shops for tackle. And then when he finds a color, that he thinks somebody might not have, he buys every freaking one on the shelf.
I do that.
He does that too.
I do that.
So that being said, you can kind of figure out what I'm getting ready to say. They have some stuff that you can't find in like 98% of the tackle stores in the U.S. Like, they got a huge selection of glide baits. They got some colors and some jerk baits that you just won't see elsewhere.
A lot of custom-made baits, too. I know they got the
do.
waterwood crankbaits.
Yep. So, yeah, do yourself a favor. It's free shipping. Any orders over $50. You get a free sun shirt. Sun shirt, not a T-shirt, not a cheap T-shirt. You get a free sun shirt. Any orders over $50. And then use code LTF10 for 10% off your order also. So, check them out. I promise you. Just don't buy the stuff that we're trying to get before you see it.
Don't beat Matt to the juice.
Yeah, don't beat Matt to the juice. That's right. All right, so jump right into it. Thrift, I'm going to let you start first.
I got to start first.
Wait, when do you leave?
I'm leaving next week. We
Okay.
start practice on the 11th, I think.
Okay, so is that a Sunday? I'm pretty sure that's a Sunday.
Let me tell you.
Because I leave on the 9th. I leave next Friday, a week from Friday.
Yeah, that's when I'm leaving, is on the 9th.
Okay.
So
all right.
we got 2, we're the same week.
Yeah, we're the same week.
So your tournament's like the 16th through the...
Roughly. Yeah, it's the next Thursday, whatever the next Thursday is.
Oh, you're just going to go fish around for a couple days. What do y'all
No, our
practice?
practice starts on Sunday. I'm
The
leaving on
12th?
the 9th.
Oh, y'all got an off day?
Yes, just at the first tournament,
Okay.
because that's when we do our pictures and all that stuff for the year.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Sorry,
yeah,
that-
so
that
we'll
was
have...
confusing.
So that'll be a fun week in bass fishing. Both major trails starting off at the same time. So there'll be a lot of good information, a lot of stuff to follow for
I got to look at something.
what you're looking at.
We have an off day. I got to see if there's any pickleball courts in Okeechobee, Florida.
As cool as Scott Martin is, I bet he don't even know. So what's that tell you about pickleball?
You know what he said? He said, I'd like to try that this year. And
I want to
said-
try it too.
I said, don't
honestly
buy a
do.
racket. Don't buy a racket. I got rackets.
Yeah,
And
I want to try it as well.
I'm going to travel with my gear this year. But the problem is with the elites. So, like, I voted to have an off day because it's awesome.
It is.
So-
we need to have a discussion about that.
Yeah, well, I could talk for hours about why
I
it's
could,
good.
too.
And apparently there's a select number of elites that could talk for hours about why it's bad because we got outvoted because we have an off day at the first tournament this year. We don't have one the rest of
Yeah.
the year. And, you know, my issue with it is probably the same thing you have. Like, you practice hard for 3 days, you go daylight to dark, whatever.
Yeah.
An off day not allows you to mentally kind of just relax and prepare for the tournament, but it allows the media who are swarming our tour level events, right? A lot of independent people
Yeah.
are there. A lot of people working for specific sponsors are there, trying to gather content, trying to do stories, trying to do this and that. We're trying to create some social media content. And that day is very, very valuable to us and our sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
If we have it.
And there's only one con to it. Like if you listed pros and cons, there would be one in the con column.
But can I
Becau-
guess what it is?
Please, please.
Because if I'm wrong, then there's two. Because this is what some of the elites said. Well, that's an extra day I have.
That's
to be,
it.
I
That's
have to-
the
an
only
extra day I
one.
have to be away from home.
That's the only con.
Look,
I don't want to be gone from home
I'm
on an extra day.
I'm the last person in the world, and Brian is too, that wants
Yeah.
to be gone an extra day from their family. But I'm going to tell you right now, first and foremost, when we hit the road, it is all business, and it is
Yes.
our job. And that is part of our job, is creating content, being there for our sponsors to promote, preparing for the tournament in every way possible to get 110% ready. And when you crush it for 3 days of practice and you start the tournament the following day,
Yeah,
there
you
ain't no
stay-
time for that.
There's no other sport in the world that I know of, and there may be since I said that, just because I said that, but you don't practice the day before the event. Like, could you see football players out there running laps? And
It's a good point.
I
I
mean-
hadn't thought of that. That's a good
I
point.
mean, you don't practice the day before your event. You practice hard up until a day or two before, and then you get your stuff together, get your mind right. That way, you're performing at your 100% level. You're at optimum peak performance for the first day of the event. You're not tired staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning the night before to get everything ready. And yeah, there's only one con, and Matt nailed it.
So no off day. Thrift and Arey say it just sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Not having an off day, but
It's
it is what it
terrible.
is. We play by the rules. Unfortunately, we don't get to make the rules because I could come up with some awesome ones.
I would too. I would too. I want a lay day.
Huh?
I want a lay day in practice, like offshore fishing.
Did you just say a lay day?
a lay day? No,
No comment.
no. Get this.
Did you
All right.
say a lay day?
A lay day? Let me explain. So now that I got where I enjoy fishing the marlin tournaments and stuff offshore,
Yeah,
the
please
events are
explain.
usually like they go for a week, but you have a lay day, so you only fish 3 of the 4 or 5 days of the week. So think about this: you're going up north. Say you're going to Ontario or whatever, St. Lawrence River, St. Clair, Lake Erie, wherever. They could opt 4 days of practice, but one of them's a mandatory lay day. So you can pick 3 of the 4 days to practice. So you could look at the weather forecast and you're like, hey, the wind's not going to blow this day. I need to go up there and practice that day, and then I'll take off the next day and practice the last 2 days.
I like that. I like that a
Exactly.
lot.
Like, it's a good idea.
I didn't understand why it was called a lay
But
day.
like
though.
in our in the Bass Pro Tour, we only have 2 days of practice, so they could slate 3 days before the event starts, with 2 days of official practice, and you have a lay day. So you could, if for inclement weather, like say you're gonna be at Knoxville for the Classic, and you get whatever 2 days of practice, but it's gonna snow 1.5 feet the first day. You're like, hey, maybe I don't want to go fishing that. Maybe I'll go practice the next 2 days.
Okay, I like that. Brian, you should
Exactly.
be a tournament director.
I should. I got a lot of good ideas. Just don't nobody listen to them.
I'm listening. There's 150 people listening right now.
That is true.
So, well, we needless to say, I'm going to have to really soak this off day in at Okeechobee because I'm not going to get another one.
I don't understand. I've never understood why people don't like an off day. You know what's bad? Is the guys that don't like the off day, because I usually come off the water early the last day so I can get all my stuff ready, and then we still beat them. So
Yeah.
that makes up for it.
It does. I hate to say it, but to watch a guy like grind that last day and come off at like dark 30,
Yeah.
and then you end up beating him in the tournament.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of personal satisfaction that
It
goes along
really
with
is.
that.
It really is.
I do. It's funny you said that because, like, when we don't have an off day, which was most of the tournaments last year, we didn't have an off day. That third day of practice, like, I'll get out there and kind of, by the third day, by 10, 11 in the morning, you should probably pretty much have your game plan staked out, kind of have some ideas and how you're going to roll through the tournament. I'll just pull over into a little pocket and power pole down and just work on stuff for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I come in, and Canterbury and Martin are like,
Scrambling.
Are you not going to rig anything?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, man, I'm just going to roll right into the tournament. I've been out there rigging for 2 hours on the lake.
Yeah. I do. Like when I would fish the Toyotas and stuff, I would always, like that last day of practice before the tournament, I would get off the water at like 11 or 12, just like you said. Just so I got 4 or 5 hours. I don't have to rush. I can get everything like I want it. I'm not stressed out. And we're good to go.
So, see if you're like me on this, because like Scott Squared are like, they just think this is so odd that I do this. It's like, how do you have time to do that? And I'm like, so I'll rig up rods like now, which Seminole and Okeechobee are pretty similar, right?
Yeah.
But we had a back-to-back several times where we were like from Sabine River to, something total.
Right, or
Everything's
like from
opposite of Sabine
largemouth to
River.
smallmouth.
Yeah. Well, we went from Florida to Lake Lanier one time.
Yeah.
And I had like all my rods rigged up for like Lanier, and all my rods rigged up for like St. John's River.
Yeah.
And so when we got to Lanier, like I just switched stuff out of the boat and like I was ready to roll.
You don't have to do anything.
You do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they looked at me when we got to Lanier like I was some kind of freaking nature. Like, who does that? I'm like, I do. I'm like, when do you have time? I'm like, when I'm at home before the season starts, like in between tournaments, whatever.
When you got 2 weeks between events, that's when you do all
And
that.
I get why Hollywood might not have the time to do it.
I think something's going
Canterbury-
on with the comments in the live. Like, it says we only got 75 going on mine.
No, that's just your phone because
That's what I'm saying, like, something
I'm at
ain't working
156 people and I got plenty of comments coming through. But Canterbury, every time I talk to him, like yesterday, what are you doing? I'll cleaning a bunch of crappies I caught this morning.
Yeah.
Like he goes fishing. Like he's got time to do that.
Yeah.
But
I
he's doing
rigged
other
rods
things.
all day today.
You did what?
I rigged rods all day today.
So I did that last night in my shop until 10:30.
Yeah.
Then I went inside, and then I went fishing a little bit today. I snuck over to Moss. That's right, with old Booty Black.
I didn't get a call. I was free.
Well, Buddy was off, and
I mean, there's no rule. You can fit 3 in a Ranger.
Okay, you got me. You got me.
Three will fit comfortably in a Ranger. I don't even have to fish. I could sit there. Like, I would like
That
to
wouldn't be
able-
no fun.
But I mean, I would. if
You'd be
didn't-
proud because you know what Buddy caught some on?
What?
Guess. One guess.
Chatterbait.
No, man. Come on. Come on.
Jerkbait.
What does Bryan Thrift always carry in his cargo shorts?
Oh, stingers.
He did. He caught some on Stinger.
Stinger, nice. Any big ones? What's the,
Caught
is,
2 3-pounders.
is the water clearing up out there?
It's not dirty like you'd think it'd be.
Yeah.
Like Buffalo's not even muddy. Like that's
Gotcha,
it's just weird. So I did catch a couple cranking, but we caught some on a Stinger.
Nice. I like it.
Oh, buddy. Oh,
I
buddy's
wasn't thinking
watching.
stinger. I wasn't thinking stinger. I was thinking like crankbait, jerkbait, chatterbait, like cold, dirty water baits.
Yeah, well, the water was 52, which was surprising.
That is surprising.
Yeah, it was surprising. That must have been a really warm rain we got. But so Chris said, McDonald said he closed out the app, opened it back up, everything's up to speed for him. So maybe you ought to try that.
Maybe
Brian.
I need to try that.
Just
Let's
close
try
it
that.
out, come back. I got you. I got you covered on the
Hold down the
comments.
fort, Matt. Let's see.
Buddy got on here. Oh, Buddy's watching. He was waiting for me to make a comment. He said he's my coach and he's getting me trained up for the upcoming year. You know what happened today? So I was out there fishing.
Oh, 161. It's working.
There you go. That's what we're at 160 something.
Live
So
chat. Check.
I was out there fishing, and Emily called, and she said, she must have could hear me casting. She said, "What, are you fishing?" And I said, "Yeah." And you know what she said? She said, "Good. You need to be fishing more, not playing so much pickleball.
Yay, Emily. Let's give her a round of applause.
Shit.
Now, if I could just get him to invite me, we'd have it whooped.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pre-invite you. Like, I'm going to go out for a little while on Monday, take a buddy of mine. You know Big Mike Burkett?
Yeah.
Mike's going to jump in the boat with me. Come
yeah.
go with us.
Let's see. I'm down.
All right. I'm going to take the
down
girls
Monday.
to school. I'm going to take the girls to school. I'm going to come back, hook up the boat, we gone.
All right. I'm good with that.
All right. Monday, we're going fishing.
Like it. I got invited.
Done deal. All right, let's actually get into our topic.
All right.
We,
That was a good rabbit trail, though, rabbit hole to go down, I feel like.
Wasn't bad. We've been through worse. Been
Yeah, I
down
know,
worse.
but that was something people need to know about.
True. All right, Brian.
All right.
Kissimmee,
Kissimmee.
a.k.a. Lake Toho, Lake Cypress, Lake Hatchinall. Is that all? That's all. Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger. Forgot about Tiger.
Canterbury
Yeah.
caught a 9-pounder out of Tiger one time.
I know that. I remember watching the video in the FLW tournament off a boat dock. It almost whooped him, too. It was a good video.
Is Tiger off of Toho or Kissimmee?
It's off of Kissimmee.
And it's a long little old creek. You
Yeah,
gotta
long
follow
little
up, right?
narrow
Yeah.
creek.
All right. Give us a preview. You got a lot of experience down there.
I wouldn't call it a lot.
You've had some success down there.
Yes, I know I've made at least 2 top 10s down there. I finished second the last time I was there, but that was in June. And anybody that is thinking of going to Florida, like right now when it's cold everywhere else and you want to go down there and get warm, don't do it. Go down there in like May and June. That's when they bite the best. It's so much fun. Like, hands down, way funner than fishing in February.
There it
and
is
March.
again.
Funner. I didn't say funnest. I said funner.
I don't think either one of them's a word.
All right. Well, they said most fun should have been said instead of funnest. So what should have been said for funner? Somewhat fun.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Like normal English. I don't know.
All right. Well, it's funner. That's what I'm going with.
We get what we picking up what you're putting down. You go ahead.
So yeah, I've had a little bit of success there, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm glad I'm not going to Okeechobee like Matt is, because I'm just tired of fishing that place in February. No offense, but Okeechobee is one-dimensional. I mean, you've got shallow grass. That's how you're going to catch them outside of a canal or two. But like when you get further north in the state of Florida, you know, at Toho or Kissimmee, you've got other things in play. You've got offshore grass. You've got a lot of different things you can do. And I really like that about Toho and Kissimmee, because you're not stuck either flipping grass or winding something through the grass or something like that. And it seems like guys spread out more. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That's all you got?
I mean, what else is there to say?
So here's the most awesomeness thing I found out about Okeechobee lately.
All right.
I was literally fishing today. No, I was at the show this weekend at Angler's Choice, and I found out that the MLF Invitationals have a tournament that ends the first day of our practice.
Oh, really? Yeah, so what used to be the Big Five or whatever, yes.
Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, which is now the Invitationals,
right,
has a tournament that starts next week and ends, I believe, on the day that our practice begins.
Third day of competition, last day of competition is y'all's first day.
It's either that or it ends on Saturday, one of the two. But regardless, like, everything will be so exposed so fast, because I think they have live coverage, don't they? They did last year.
They have what?
Live coverage.
I think so. I think they do have live coverage.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to have any secrets.
So here's the thing about Okeechobee right now. Like, Okeechobee is extremely high. Like,
what's the water level?
It was like 17.
Whew,
Now
that is high.
Now it's dropped down to somewhere around 16.
That's still high.
It's
I don't
still
think
high.
I've seen it over 14 in 10 years.
Yeah, Canterbury went down there and rode the lake, and he said about an hour into it, he realized he was wasting his time, because you could ride around the lake and you could see the shoreline all the way around it.
Really?
Like, you could see, like, there was no outside edges and stuff.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like, for the most part. For the
Oh,
most
my
part.
gosh.
I'm sure there's still some hidey holes here and there, but overall, the problem that they're facing at Okeechobee is, with that water being that high, is tons of dirty water. Right. Tons of dirty
Right.
water.
There's not enough grass to filter it out.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be a very interesting event. It's going to be frustrating. I'm afraid. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb. And
But I
say,
mean, why are they holding it so high? Is it because of the red tide stuff that we've saw?
No, have you not read about this whole water release deal in Lake Okeechobee and the cities down below it and all this stuff?
No, I really
Okay,
haven't.
so-
All right, update us, Matt.
Well, now, I don't know enough about this whole deal, and I should. I'm embarrassed I don't, because Scott Martin being my roommate, who is very, very active in this whole situation that's going on at Okeechobee. It's a very sad deal.
Yeah, he's always been one of the biggest voices for Lake Okeechobee, trying to maintain it and keep it, the pristine fishery it's been for 40 years.
That's right. And he's on this big, Save the Lake deal going on right now about, them not releasing enough water through the lake, and that in turn is basically what's causing all these problems.
Right.
And Okeechobee being the world class fishery it is truly in danger of things getting really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you get super high water down there for extended periods of time, and it's not going to be good for the lake. It's going to be a bad situation.
Now, especially if it's high this fall and there happens to be a hurricane come through there.
Oh yeah,
you
talk about wiping stuff out.
Yeah, it's going to destroy everything. I mean, which hurricanes are bad and they destroy everything anyway, but when the lake's high and you don't have all that grass in there and the waters get churned up, it's gonna rip up what grass is in there and make it even worse for many, many years.
Yeah, and it's a sad deal, right? Because Lake Okeechobee has a very historic fishery, has a lot of history there, but it truly is a world class fishery, and obviously I'm sure politics and money play the major role in why this is happening. But you're talking about a lake that, I mean, it's a gem. Like it's a diamond in the rough, right? It's in South Central Florida. It's the largest natural lake, I think, in the U.S., and then you can see it from space. It's like 300-something thousand acres.
I thought it was 500,000 acres.
It might be 500,000. I thought it was 300-something thousand. Maybe it's 500,000 acres. But anyway, I'm hoping and praying that they get it sorted out down there, and the lake survives all this mess. Because
I came up with a plan for that too.
For what?
They need to build 2 dikes all the way across the middle of Okeechobee, divided into like 3 separate lakes. Have some little blowouts in them so you can still run between them. Fix all that.
Okay. That wouldn't be cheap, though.
No, not cheap.
Who's going to pay for
They built a dike all the way around it. I mean, they
I wonder
could have
when
took.
that dike was built. Talking about the rim ditch. Yeah. So, Okeechobee. I have been following the weather patterns down there. One thing that Brian and I've always said about Florida is you really want, ideally, I know people like complain about cold fronts down there, but you need cold fronts throughout the winter to create warming trends, as opposed to like a winter that it's 70 to 80 degrees every single day of the winter.
Yeah.
Because then that starts making what I consider like a trickle spawn. Few fish come in, few fish go out, few fish, and vice versa. So you never have any major movement. So when you do find fish during weather patterns that are super consistent and stay, warm pretty much the entire winter, it's hard to find giant groups of pre-spawn females sitting somewhere, or big waves of spawning fish moving into an area, or whatever. But it seems like every time we've had 3 or 4 days of cold weather, or maybe a week of cold weather, and then it gradually warms up.
Yeah.
That's when you see major movements.
Right. And I know I've talked to JT about it, and he's always told me that's what triggers the spawn in Florida is like dropping water temps. So where for us it's rising water temperatures, it's actually falling water temps triggers them to come in and start staging, and then once it warms back up, like Matt said, they'll start spawning.
448,000.
448,000 acres. That's a pretty big pond.
Yeah, that's
Pretty good size.
That's a big in there. So we go from Okeechobee. I do still think it's going to take big weights. It's going to be challenging for the elites because, number one, everything will be exposed in the event leading up to it.
Right.
Unless there's a major fish movement like during our event, then it could be just really beat up, really bad, right? So based on what I've heard, what I've seen,
Are
what
y'all
I've studied,
going out?
Okeechobee.
Y'all are going out of Okeechobee.
Out of Okeechobee.
So I wonder if they're going out of Okeechobee or Clewiston.
I don't know. That'll be interesting. I need to look that up. I need to know that. Something I need to know. But there's still gonna be some giant bags called. It's Lake Okeechobee. I honestly think that because there's so much muddy water, it would not surprise me if somebody really wants to get away from the crowd,
Find something off the wall.
figure out how to catch them somewhere in muddy water.
Yep.
You know, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
But it could happen.
But it could happen.
Could
sure.
happen.
I mean, there's got to be fish living in it. There's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much of it.
Yeah.
But like Canterbury said, you know, he's like, I'm riding around the lake, you know, and you can like see all the way to the bank in a lot of places now, where used to you couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, you can't get behind the reed lines and hide. You can't get behind them and run. And he's like, you go for 5 miles, not see nothing, there'll be 30 boats right there. And I'm like, awesome. That's
So
exactly what I
nothing's
want to hear.
changed. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. Except that back when you like had like the, you know, like the shoal and like the outside stuff at like King's Bar and,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that, where it kind of like, you could get in behind stuff and literally
Yeah.
like hide, you know, like
Yeah.
you could hide. But to your point, like still, if you go up to North Shore and places like that and
Yeah.
Harney Pond, like there'd be 50 boats out there
Oh,
like
yeah.
any given time, any time of the year. And it still kicks them out, which blows my mind. Right.
Right.
And I think Randall
Except for me, every time I go, I don't catch nothing.
yeah, I think Randall Tharp said it best one time when I think he said something about we only fish for like 10% of what lives in that lake in like 10% of the lake or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So it's
I
you know,
guarantee it.
there's got to be a ton of bass swimming around out there in the middle of that lake somewhere.
Yeah,
Like there has
somewhere.
to be. But to figure out how to catch them will be a whole nother ball game because nobody's ever done that I know of. Not like out in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like in the 20 years I've been fishing, I've never heard of it either.
Yep. All right, let's jump into a few questions. I'll because we'll be back to back. So we'll be gone several weeks, y'all. After this week, we're going to be gone several weeks. We apologize, but we'll get back.
Yeah,
with
and
some-
about the time you get back from Seminole, I'll be getting ready for Red Crest, and then you'll have the Classic creeping up. And
That's right.
it's going to be a busy springtime.
Yeah, it is. I will. Excuse me. I will get a show together. Hopefully, Brian can come on with me, like a Red Crest preview deal. Worst case scenario, we get him on the week after he wins, and we talk about that.
Oh,
but
man, you just jinxed me.
I do want a couple. I am going to get a special guest in here. Hopefully, we won't say who it is, but I do want to get a special guest in here pre-Classic also, and talk about the Bassmaster Classic in Knoxville, Tennessee this year. So we'll the next show we get on, we'll be talking about Red Crest, whether it's before or after. Surely, and hopefully it'll be before, and we will try to definitely have a pre-Classic show also.
Should be good for next week. You remember next week?
Next week is going to be tough for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were supposed to have a special guest next week, and that kind of fell through. But we're working on lining some stuff up for as soon as we get back. I can promise you that. So y'all bear with us, but we do appreciate y'all's support as always.
Yes.
We do go from Okeechobee straight to Lake Seminole, which I think is going to be a phenomenal tournament.
I think so too.
Again, the weather there has been relatively warm all winter. They have not had any major cold fronts, so
and there hasn't been a really big like top level event on Seminole in quite some time.
not a tour level event. I think
Right.
the last one that I know of was the Bassmaster Elite, and it was about Brett Height won it. Brett Height won it. You remember that one? About 6 or 7 years ago,
Oh, yeah, that's
maybe,
a long
something like
time
that.
ago, yeah.
And he won it on a bladed jig.
We had one there, I believe, in 2019, maybe.
What, BPT?
No,
No.
It was a
FLW
FLW.
It was, the one Latimer won.
Yes,
Yes,
Brian
I do
won.
remember that one.
Yeah, I think that was the last top level. So it's been
Yeah.
3 or 4 years since a major top level.
Yeah, so I'm
Tournament.
excited. I haven't been there in years. A couple lakes this year. We've talked about it, but I haven't been to Murray in years. I haven't been, not for a tour level event. I haven't been to Seminole in years for any tournament. Lay Lake, never been to Lay Lake.
Oh, I love that.
but-
I'm looking forward to Saginaw Bay because I've never
Yeah,
been
that's
there.
right. That's right. So we got a lot of lakes and things on the schedule this year. We're excited about. Obviously, after these first couple tour level events we get under our belt, we're going to be looking at our respective championships. The Red Crest
Yep.
and the Bassmaster Classic. So those are the events we're looking to win. It's the only reason you go to those, to win.
That's it.
There's no other reason.
I want to
fishing.
win. I'm sure Matt wants to win the Classic.
Yeah.
So, hey, why don't we just both win this year?
No problem. Let's do it.
Done. As long as I don't screw it up first.
Questions. Well, I've already done that in the Classic, so don't feel bad.
I'm talking about this year.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Let's take a few questions. We're going to take a few questions. I know there's a couple hundred people watching.
What about a suggestion other than a question?
We'll take anything we can get.
So Keith Wood would like Jeff to get the little mute thing off the side of the TV because it's blinking and killing him's OCD.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
I agree with you,
Well,
Keith.
Jeff's not here, and
And I would
Tyler's
like to
incapable.
appreciate you telling us about it because now it's driving me crazy as well.
I never even saw it. Oh, I do see it now. Wow. That's pretty annoying, actually.
Oh, Lordy.
Let's, all right. I thought you were talking about Keith Wood wants you to run for president.
I mean, I would. If y'all talk most of the country into voting for me, I would. I don't know. I feel like I'd make everybody mad. I'd probably have an assassination attempt in the first week.
Quick question from, or statement, / question from Alan. Says, do you think a lot of professionals don't do YouTube because they don't want to let any small secrets out, like small tweaks they don't want to let out? Alan, I'll be the first one to tell you this. Like, it's really, really, really hard to hide anything anymore. Like, really hard. Like, really, really,
especially
really, really
on
hard.
live, the way they get all zoomed in on everything on live.
Yeah, I mean,
it's-
and here's the thing, like, I've never done this, and I would never do this, and out of respect for my sponsors, but I've never looked at a camera, done something to, like, blatantly lie about what I was throwing or what I was doing or how I was working a bait. I'm not going to do that. You lose all kinds of credibility when you do that. And the thing about it is, I've seen guys do that in the past, like where they pull a Rapala DT10 out of a fish's mouth, and they said they caught it on a
Livingston bait.
Livingston bait, or whatever. But
That is the more famous of the examples.
do what?
That is one of the more famous
Yeah,
of
well,
the
I'm
examples.
just saying, like, it happens, right?
It happens.
It's okay to say I caught it on a red crankbait that was about 8 to 10 foot, right? And if the viewers see what it is, then more power to them, right? But to Brian's point, like live, like these cameramen, like they know what they're doing, right?
Yes.
If you don't want your bait shown, if you don't want to hide something, like you want to turn away from the camera and unhook the fish and throw your bait back out in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that, but at the same time, we know what y'all want to see.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not that guy that's like going to be so hush-hush about it because I understand, like, everything is at the end of my finger right now. Like, I can access and find out almost anything I want to know right here. And, I think as anglers, our credibility comes from being honest, being willing to teach, being willing to share. And that's what this podcast is about. That's kind of how we founded this podcast. And I just don't, I don't think that has anything to do with it. Not for me personally. I know not for Brian.
No. And that's one of the beauties of, I'm sure Matt's sponsors are the same way, but my tackle sponsor, Demiki, I mean, they know that no one company can make the best of every category of lure that we need in our toolbox to catch fish with. I said toolbox because each individual lure is essentially a tool. And no one company can make the best of everything. And in our line of work, you got to have the best of each thing. So I know that's one thing I really love about Demiki. They make great baits, and a lot of the baits they make are the best for certain situations, but they know they don't have every category covered, and I know they're never going to fuss at me for using a competitor's bait. Now, I might not talk it up and stuff like that, but they're fine with me using them.
Right. That's right. And they understand we have to do what we need to do to get the job done to the best of our ability, regardless of what tools we have to utilize. Now, like you said, we're not going to go out and write a full article on a Strike King bait or something that we're not sponsored by, but no company out there truly makes everything we need.
No.
Not single-handedly.
No. And if they do, it's probably not the best.
Correct.
Like it's a knockoff of the best.
Tyler.
You got it off?
It's gone.
Good
You don't
job,
know, like
Tyler.
you made a bunch of people happy, like Brandy and Keith, and I mean, people flipping out.
I'm
'cause
glad
it
I
was
could help.
bothering me.
I'm glad I could help.
I'm glad you could too, because it was bothering me after I found out it was up there. Best scenario. Okay, here you go. It's from Matt Link, Thrift. This is a good question. So, because I've always wanted this too.
All right. What we got?
Your big bladed chatterbait.
Yeah.
Absolute, hands down, best scenario. Like if you could paint the best scenario in your head to pick that thing up and catch big uns on, give us like all the little details about water conditions and the time
All
of
right,
year and stuff.
So I want pre-spawn, spawn. I want warming trend, fish moving up shallow, waters in the low to mid 60s. A few fish are starting to get on the bed. Cold front comes through, and they back off a little bit. Water drops down 57, 58. Got a little bit of color in the water. That's like prime time. Like that's when you know you fixing to catch the 5 biggest fish in the lake. But that aside, probably my favorite thing to do with it is fishing in grass. Like I love slow rolling it in grass because it's something unique and it's a harder thump, a lot different vibration, and it's relatively new to the market. Like it's only been out a year and a half or so, but fish aren't used to it yet, and they really bite it good. They bite it really hard. Like some of the best, like they bite it like they used to bite a chatterbait before everybody knew about it. Like the line just falls slack on the water. Like, you know the good bites, Matt. Like them
The good bites.
Them mid 2000 bites.
The pre-forward facing sonar bites.
Right. Yeah, like bite it like it's 2004 or something like that.
Bite it. Hey, that could be a song, you know, party like it's 1999,
Yeah.
bite it like it's 2004. T-shirt idea right there.
There we
Write
go.
that one
There
down.
we go. We'll have to add that to the whenever Jeff gets her deal going.
Yeah, that's right. Here's a cool question from Andy Leonard. We might could kill 2 birds with 1 stone here because Joe G said, what do you think is going to be your most important or effective bait this year? Let's, maybe we can't kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but we could try.
All right.
Andy wants to know what your favorite non-sponsored bait is.
All right.
Go ahead.
I mean, my favorite non-sponsored bait it's got to be a mega bass jerkbait. I mean, it's
You did, yeah, like 100%. I was going to say Mega Bass Vision 110.
exactly. I mean, I don't care who you are, who you're sponsored by. You've got a Mega Bass Vision 110 in your tackle box.
I mean, I'm sorry, ditto. Like,
I mean, you could have a good one with the bait we just talked about.
yeah. Well, lesson learned. Always go first.
Well, I mean, you want me to say yours?
What's bait?
A chatterbait.
Oh, well, yeah, dude. Like, I mean, sorry, like a jackhammer. Yeah,
Exactly.
You're right. Like, who doesn't have a box full of jackhammers, right?
Exactly.
Or just bladed jigs in general, like, you know, like.
No,
Yeah.
it's not just bladed jigs. It's a Z-Man jackhammer.
99%. I did throw a 5/8 ounce. So, like at Pickwick, like I did throw like a 5/8 ounce chatterbait head, and I was putting like KJ Queen's
Oh yeah, his little deal.
switchblade on there.
Yeah.
And it was just it was just what I needed for the particular setup or the particular conditions. And that's like one of the few tournaments I didn't throw an actual jackhammer in. But it's still a chatterbait. It's still a Z-Man chatterbait. Still the, you know, the same company.
Yeah.
All right. What percentage of the baits? This is a good question too, man. Y'all coming down.
I know this is awesome.
Coming in with some good questions tonight. I'm impressed. All right, what percentage of custom baits do y'all use? And Chris McDonald, hold that thought.
That's a good one.
Because I think we can get back to your question, Chris, here in just a minute. Justin Brown, what percentage of custom baits do y'all use? Custom, like when you say custom, not custom painted, like custom built, right? Are we talking about custom built?
I'm talking custom built, custom paint, like tweaked.
Okay.
Where you can't buy it from the manufacturer.
Okay.
The way
I'm going
it
to
is.
say for me, it's not very high. Like 100% custom, maybe 15%.
Yeah.
Maybe 15%.
Because there's limited categories.
Yeah,
of
maybe
what you
10.
can
Actually, maybe
customize.
I'm more like 10%.
I'd say that's accurate.
Yeah, I'd say I'm probably closer to 10%. What about you?
I'm probably along the same lines. I mean, I used to have a lot more custom stuff, but now a lot of it's being made.
Yeah, and you know, to your point, it might honestly be less than that because there is so much good stuff out there now that are made by companies that most people may not even have heard of. Like if you really get to looking, like if you think of an idea, like just think of whatever. Like I want a chatterbait with a bigger blade on it, or I want to, you know, like things like that. Like, and just go searching online, you'd be amazed. Like there's a company out there somewhere that probably makes it.
And that's how a lot of my signature items came about. Like from the big blade chatterbait to my Demiki BTC 60 square bill, they were custom things that I was doing or baits I was getting that was, not produced. Like I was making the big blade chatterbaits myself, things like that. I was getting crankbaits custom colored, things like that. So that's how a lot of that comes about. But I would say now, as far as custom baits, I mean, particularly probably the only thing we really use a lot now is custom is, your garage made swim baits, your tater hogs, your things like that. Wouldn't you agree? Other than like crankbait custom colors, like if you send some baits off to get painted or something.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Like I bought some baits this past weekend, got some baits. Actually, a guy named Josh Powell custom paints.
Yeah.
And it was cool because Josh does and you can find him on Instagram. It's Josh Powell, Powell Custom Baits. I think it's something like that, his handle on Instagram, but y'all check him out.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, Keith Wood said old tater hogs in both of y'all's boats, right?
oh yeah, no doubt. And I guess he's pretty 100% custom.
Yeah.
I mean that's
a garage made bait.
That's right. That's as custom as it gets right there.
By a master bait smith.
From start to finish, that is a 100%
That's a custom bait. Yeah.
Angie said, I like it. Said 3 a.m. on a steamy night in May in Indiana on a shallow grass reservoir. That's how they broke the weigh bag.
On the big blade chatterbait?
Sounds to me like it's the big blade chatterbait. All right. So new sponsors. Did we talk about that? We didn't talk about
I think we did that. We did a new sponsor show. Yeah.
I know I didn't because I couldn't talk about it.
I thought we
one,
did.
But that's as
You
far as it
mentioned
went.
you mentioned
All right,
one
well,
in
let's mention
passing.
them. Let's do it.
So you want to go first? You want me to go first? Because I know we don't have the same one.
You brought it up. You go
We don't
first.
have the same answer on this one. I know
No,
for
you
sure.
brought it up. Go ahead.
Okay, so I've added one sponsor this year that I'm very, very excited about because I've worked with this company in the past. They are phenomenal people, and I'll be back representing Pennzoil this year. Pennzoil is so what they did is I used to actually Pennzoil was my title sponsor when I switched over to the Elites. I had represented Quaker State in the past. Before that, these are all products of Shell. They're under the Shell umbrella. Great company. Obviously are very diverse in their products. But Pennzoil is actually coming back out this year with an outdoor oil launch. They're going to have a 4-stroke outboard oil. They're going to have a oil for snowmobiles, motorcycles, and ATVs. So I will be promoting that Pennzoil marine oil in particular, along with some of the new outdoor oil brands that they're launching this year. So the old premium Pennzoil Premium Plus that we all used to run to Walmart and buy all the time for our 2-stroke outboards. Now they're going to have one that's approved to run in our new 4-strokes. So
that's good news.
And it's going to be an oil that won't.
You know what I remember
break the
most
bank.
about Pennzoil?
What's that?
Not to interrupt you, but just a little story for the Pennzoil fans.
Yeah.
I remember when I was little, they would always have these giveaways of these little miniature Pennzoil F1 cars. It was like a little go-kart. And, dude, I remember filling out form after form, like I'm going to win that little Pennzoil go-kart thing shaped like the F1 cars. Like, dude, I was like, I had dreams of winning that thing.
That's awesome.
I didn't win it, though.
That is really cool. So, y'all, LTF listeners, podcast listeners, YouTube listeners, live viewers, y'all are a privileged to information that I actually have not even publicly announced on my social media.
No, that's the first I've heard of it.
Well, so we just kind of got the deal done like last week. So it's been kind of pending, but it's a done deal. So we will be representing the Pennzoil brand again this year on our jerseys, boat, tow truck. And yeah, I'm excited about it, man.
Have they added anybody else back to the team, or you just it for now?
Just me for now.
I do
know.
I'm glad to see them getting back in the outdoor
right.
market.
I do know that they're going to be
company.
involved a little bit with some college fishing. I don't have all the details of that yet, exactly how it's going to look or where it's going to be. But I do know that is definitely one of their goals to get involved with the up and comers of our sport. But yes, I get to work with Brad Stout, who we all know. Brad. From years past, a good friend, and looking forward to getting to hang out with him some again too. So excited about that relationship, and y'all are the first ones to hear about it. So there will be a press release here, probably in the next week or two. But hey, what better way to let the cat out of the bag than on LTF?
Right. Exactly.
So, all right, Brian, you're up.
All right, my turn. I have a new apparel sponsor. So last year, I was kind of struggling to find a rain suit that I really liked. So I spent a lot of the year trying out different rain suits, different brands, and I ended up settling on a company called Blackfish. So Luke Clausen was the one who introduced me to them originally. And the very first event down at Darbon, it was like 4 degrees and raining, and it was windy. And he let me borrow one of his rain suits. He had an extra one of the Gale Storm Skin suit, and fell in love with it. Kept me dry, kept me warm. And so that was one deal that I was excited to get a hold of, was get on with Blackfish. And they're coming out, they're adding new lines to their apparel and their clothing every year. I think they're coming in with some boots here soon. We've got some shorts coming. So it's great because they're a relatively newer company. They've only been out for a few years. And they're a growing brand, and they're very innovative. They've got a lot of cool products, a lot of cool designs, and things that, no other apparel company makes. And I'm looking forward to working with them to help, maybe throw some of my custom tweaks to it, just like our baits. So that's one I'm really looking forward to. And the second thing that I'm very excited about is I've been with Fitzgerald Fishing with rods now for about 12 or 13 years. And I've already announced this on social media, so you might have seen it. But this year, I'm also going to be using the Fitzgerald Fishing reels, which I'm really excited about. They look really good. They're well balanced on the rods. They were kind of designed somewhat together to, mend together and kind of blend and have the correct balance, the correct feel. So that Fitzgerald Fishing reel, I'm throwing the VLD10 and throwing it on my Signature Series rods, and looking forward to that.
So you gonna have matching rods and reels.
I am.
Well,
they look really good.
You're gonna look sexy out there.
Yeah. I spooled some up the other day to take them to Norman and play around, just because how we're fishermen. Everybody knows I hate change. Matt knows this.
Fully
All
aware.
The viewers know this.
Fully aware.
So I'm worried that, I knew they were great reels, but it's not what I was used to. So I spool a couple up, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to Norman, going back old school. I'm going to go skip docks all day and see what we can make this reel do. And it's good. I can skip really well with it.
Ryan's got to know. Blackfish, signature cargo shorts.
Ooh, we may have to do that.
Should make them.
I'm going to screenshot that, and I'm going to send it to the man at Blackfish, and we're going to see if we can make that happen, Ryan.
So Blackfish, do they have they obviously have good outerwear, rain
Yeah,
suits,
great
things like
outerwear.
Do they have day-to-day apparel or anything like that?
Yeah,
or?
that's starting. That line of clothing is starting to expand. So they've got great sun shirts. They've got 2 different models, and there's one of them is it's cool because it's a textured technology. Like it almost looks like fish scales. Like it's
okay,
but it it's soft. It's not it's a sun shirt.
Yeah,
provides the sun protection. But the way it lays on you, it doesn't just lay flat to you because it's got the kind of pattern built into the fabric.
Okay.
So it helps keep you cooler and drier. It's really, really neat. They've got a lot of great products. So
that's interesting that Jack Whaley.
I'm gonna get on there. See, so I can get the name.
Please get to make rain pants. The suspenders kill his back. Hope y'all are good. Yeah, Jack's got a good point there. So I've actually got both for that exact reason because, the suspenders like on bibs and things like that, which I wear a lot of bibs and I'm used to it, and I'm not having too many problems yet. But I have noticed over the years in certain situations, especially if you're wearing a heavier than average rain suit, which my AFCO stuff is phenomenal because it is super lightweight. But some of the really insulated suits that have suspenders and things on them, they're a little heavier and they kind of pull down on your shoulders during the day. I actually have a pair of AFCO rain pants that sometimes I'll put on in situations like that because you're right, that is definitely something that has caused a problem for some people, believe it or not, with the rain suits and the suspenders and the things, stuff pulling down on your shoulders.
Yeah. So the Blackfish clothing I was talking about is called the Angler series. So they've got the Angler and the guide wear, and the Angler's the one I was talking about with the cool charge technology. It's pretty sweet.
All right. One more question, and then we're going to jump into our trivia question for the night. We do have a trivia question. Y'all don't jump off and run away. We got I don't know, 230, 240. Good turnout tonight. We appreciate y'all. We got a trivia question here in just a second. We're going to give away Angler's Choice Heavy. I know Angie's been trying to win this thing, but we've told you, Angie, you get free shipping over $50 and 10% off. Go ahead and get on the website on ACM Tackle. Order you a bag, because I promise you, if you get to shop around long enough, you're going to find you some tackle you want to buy too. And over $50, you get that free sun shirt. So you get a sun shirt. Like, you could just buy this way bag. I think it's what, like $35, $40?
Yeah.
And you get you one of those hard-to-find Mega Bass Vision 110 colors that Angler's Choice has.
Or a couple of packs of worms.
Or a couple packs of worms, whatever. Break $50. Then you get a free sun shirt. Then you get 10% off with the code. And then you get free shipping.
That's a pretty good deal.
It's almost like buy the bag and get a whole bunch of other stuff for free, or buy the jerk baits and a shirt and get the bag for free. 6 and 1/2 dozen other. Or maybe she's just going to win tonight. You never know. She might just win. But last question. John Gavin Dellinger. He asked this earlier, so I got to get on it. John says, if you only had one day to practice, like a lot of the kids do in the high school trail, including John, how would you go about your day? Brian, I'm going to turn this over to you, because you're one of the most efficient people at practicing that's out there.
All right.
And you rarely make a cast.
One day of practice, high school trail. I hate to say I would pick one area of the lake, because I wouldn't. I like to run around and look at everything a lake has to offer, especially if you've only got one day of practice. So you need to know if the lake's got grass, if it's got rock. You need to have options and know where everything is. So I would ride around and look at a little bit of everything. This is something I tell a lot of people in a lot of seminars I've done about how to practice, is go by the 15-minute rule. You pull in somewhere, fish for 15 minutes. If you don't get a bite, crank up and leave. Because most of the time, I find myself, when I go to a new area, if there's a few fish there, a concentration of fish there, you get bit fairly quickly. And if you go more than 15 or 20 minutes without a bite, next thing you know, you've been in that same area for an hour and hadn't had a bite, and you've wasted, 10% of your day. So got to go by the 15-minute rule, run around. That forces you to look at more of a lake and try out different patterns to try to break down the lake quicker. So that would be my number one piece of advice.
Brian said it very well. I'll just tell you, I'll give you a couple tips on practice. Too many people, especially, I did this when I was younger. It's hard not to do, but they want to go out there during practice and they want to fish all day.
Right.
Like fish all day. And then your practice day's over, you hadn't found anything, or you found one little spot with a few bites, and then the weather changes or something, you don't have, then that goes away and then you're lost.
Right.
You need to just get some ideas. You need to see what the lake has to offer, and keep your confidence in your abilities to be able to figure it out during the tournament. Like, if you understand how the lake lays out and you go out there in the tournament with a clean, open mind, and you get a couple bites and you can run with it like that.
Yep.
But don't get caught up in an area. Brian said it best, like, before you know it, you've wasted 3 or 4 hours, and you're in an area that's not even going to play during the tournament. You hadn't had a bite, or it just doesn't look right, or it doesn't feel right, but you just keep kind of pushing it. It's like you just get in this little zone, and you're just fishing down the bank, and then all of a sudden, you're like, man, I hadn't
had a bite all day.
Yeah, I haven't accomplished anything. Cover as much water as you can in the one day that you have.
And don't be scared to throw practice out of the window, especially if you've only got one day of practice. If you go practice that one day and you eliminate a lot of water, that's just as good as finding something a lot of times. Go somewhere totally different during your tournament day if you don't feel like you can compete on what you found in practice. I mean, I know I've done that a lot. I'll start somewhere I've never even been before and, practice in the event. There's no rule that says you can't practice during the competition. And you might stumble across something nobody else has found, and something you obviously didn't know was theirs, and win the event.
Kyle Nettles just gave me a genius idea.
What you got?
You always have the good ideas. I think I got a really good one.
All right, what you got?
He said the 4-inch stingers come in the pockets. So here's the thing. All right, you do a signature cargo short, right?
Yeah.
And during the initial launch,
4-inch stingers in the pockets.
No, you only put them in the pockets of like 2 pair of all the pair that go out. And it's like this is like a golden ticket.
Oh yeah.
And it could even be like a golden shiner colored stinger or something, right?
Oh,
Whoever
yeah.
finds the golden stinger gets a fully expense paid fishing trip with Bryan Thrift.
You gonna pay for it?
Blackfish will pay for it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Trust me, your sponsor will take care of you.
That's
for that.
a good idea.
If they sell
We might do
2,000
something with
pair
that.
of shorts, they'll take care of it.
Yeah, we might have to do that.
Tell
We might have to
Blackfish
do
they can
that.
send me a check later for my idea.
All right. I'll let them know. I'll let them know.
I thought it was a great idea. Well,
That's a brilliant idea.
what about it, Tyler?
Like, I love
Yeah,
it.
That's pretty good.
Good idea.
That is
Yeah.
a great idea.
Ron Sauer said Matt is
Matt
a genius.
is a genius.
Yeah.
Like,
Ryan, you've been watching this show for 4 years. You just figured that out. Jeff just turned. Jeff just looked at me.
I
like
didn't even
my-
know he was back. When did he slip in here? You are like a ninja.
Jeff just looked at me like my golden retriever does when I'm eating. He just, when I said I'm a genius, or Ryan said I'm a genius, he turned his head sideways like this and crossed his eyes. All right, let's get in our trivia question. It's 8:03, 3 after 8. We gotta knock it out. All right, giveaway, heavy duty Angler's Choice way bag. Don't forget, it's Angler's Choice on the front.
Yep.
Mercury on the back.
And don't forget, if you're in the area, want to drive, come see us this weekend at Spindale at Angler's Choice. It's going to be fun.
Yep, Brian might have stingers in his pockets. You never know.
I might do that.
Oh, and an Angler's Choice custom hat to the winner along with
Yeah.
the way bag. Here we go. Trivia question time.
I do not know the question, nor do I know the answer.
Okay, good.
I don't know the answer.
All right. So, how many combined miles will Brian and I drive to each of our first events?
Ooh,
combined.
God.
So, my mileage and Brian's mileage. And I want it rounded off. I'm going to make it easy on y'all. You can round it off to the nearest 100. Round it off to the nearest 100. And that's not all
Nearest
the
100?
Yeah, that's not all.
I was going to go tens, but 100, okay.
Yeah, 100. It's 8:04, man. I'm trying to look out for you and your
Okay,
bedtime.
okay. I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
So, oh my gosh. they're
Oh, my
coming through
gosh.
fast.
I don't know the answer, so it's
Oh,
on
that's
you.
the answer right there. You see it circled?
I can't tell what that is.
Oh, my handwriting sucks.
This is
I don't think either one of y'all know what the answer is. Man, I'm going to have to start scrolling back.
Okay.
All right, you see it? All right, go backwards. Try to find me an answer.
All right, I'm going. I'm going.
Me. Oh, my gosh, y'all. You're killing me. Wow. Tyler, do you know what the answer is?
I think I see it.
See it at the bottom there. See it at the bottom?
Yeah, I seen it. I gotta find it.
I don't know if anybody could read that on the screen.
I hadn't seen one yet.
I think we already got it. Oh, my gosh. We just went from like
Oh, I see it.
300 comments to
I got a winner.
4,823.
I'm calling a winner.
Okay, you're calling a winner?
Fisherman 83.
Well, wait a minute. I got to go back through.
All right. I thought I just said I was calling the winner.
Oh, okay. You're calling the
I'm calling the winner. That's the first. The correct answer was 2,600.
I got.
And the first answer
All right,
I see
that's
that
who I
says
Tyler and Thrift.
2,600.
Tyler and
Fisherman
Thrift
83.
verified. The answers were coming through so fast, dude. I couldn't read them.
Yeah, well, I scrolled back because I didn't know the answer when
So
we
Fisherman
started.
83.
Fisherman 83.
Fisherman 83. And what was the correct answer?
2,600.
2,600.
2600.
Now that's the mileage from our driveways to the lakes and back to our house. That's not all the
Nice.
in between stuff, like the 72 tackle stores that Brian's going to go to between here and Florida. That doesn't
I'm
count.
actually going to one. I have an appearance at one.
I do too. Which one?
Hang on, I'll tell
Oh,
you
it's
the
not
name.
the one I'm at. I'm at that store down in Okeechobee.
Now I'm going to Lakeland, a store in Lakeland.
Okay, got you.
February the 9th
Okay,
from 5 to 7 p.m.
got you. So next Saturday I will be doing an appearance down at a store in Okeechobee there, and it's like a I know they sell bait fuel because that's why I'm going.
Nice.
And it's a big boat dealership, tackle store. I think it's fairly new, like it's ginormous from what I hear. But myself,
I'm pretty sure American Bait Works owns that. They just built it.
okay, there you go. So it's like an American Bait Works superstore or something.
Yes. Yeah, that's Robert's place.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you know the name of it? Because I don't know the name of it yet.
I don't know the name of the exact store.
I'll make a post. I'll make a post and let you know where I'll be and what time. But
Yeah.
it'll be next Saturday, and I'll be there like from 1 to 4-ish, thereabouts, if anybody's in the area. Stop by and say hello. We hope to see y'all at Angler's Choice. Fisherman 83. It's a good question. He said, who do I message and how?
Very good question.
Go to our Facebook page, the Let's Talk Fish Facebook page. Not the group page, by the way. I think somebody messaged the group page last week, but we got that figured out. We got it worked out and got the prize over to them. Go to our Facebook page, Let's Talk Fish. Not the group page, but the Let's Talk Fish Facebook page. Send us a message with your shipping information, first and last name, and we'll get it out to you ASAP. Angler's Choice will drop ship this stuff straight to you. So we appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Let's see. Is that it?
I think that's it. So might be a while before we get back together and have another show, but
Yep.
rest assured when we do, it will be epic.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to like talk about
We're
at
gonna have
least
lots to talk about.
2 or 3 tournaments, along with Lord willing, they're good finishes for both
Yes.
of us. And we, yeah. So we're gonna miss y'all.
Yeah, we are.
But I'm taking this to Florida with me.
You're gonna take the whole
I'm gonna
bag
take
of
the whole.
sauce.
Dude, I don't think that thing would make it one way to
I
Okeechobee.
know it would.
If that,
I know it would.
I'd be sick as a dog when I got there. Y'all, we appreciate y'all watching. And yeah, that's right. When we can't go, well, actually, I went fishing today, but then you can't. I don't want to fish at night in the wintertime. So when I
I
can't
don't
do
want to
that,
fish at night ever.
when I can't do that, I'm gonna come right here on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on our YouTube channel and do what?
Go fishing. Talk fishing. Talk fishing.
You had one job.